So after analyzing what the Utah Police Department shared in the press conference, I found a few key points that I want to share with you that I thought were extremely interesting. And the perspective from a murderer who now has been caught, who's full of guilt and is fearful for his life. Ironic? Take a look.
He's in Washington County now, and we're working on trying to get him to come in voluntarily. During that phone call, some information was provided about Tyler potentially having some suicidal ideations, was en route to a remote area of Washington County. The parents convinced him not to do that, and conveyed that they would stand by him and help him surrender peacefully.
When tensions are high, the best thing to do is to try to keep calm and cool. What the parents did for Mr. Robinson was to keep him as cool and calm as possible, a great strategy to try to turn this guy in as soon as possible.
Confident we have the shooter in Washington County. We're working on getting him to come in and surrender at my office. Within the hour, my friend drove Tyler and his parents to my office, where he was greeted by plainclothes detectives.
Part of the negotiation with Tyler Robinson was that he didn't want to be handcuffed. He wanted to be treated kindly, right? We're talking about an assassin here, a murderer who's pleading for mercy. The idea here is so ironic and contrasting to his previous thoughts and actions. That makes no sense.
Tyler knew it was just inevitable with all the law enforcement pressure that his picture in the news, the gun on the news. He knew it was inevitable that he would be caught.
This talks about somebody who did not measure consequences, who maybe has some sort of an entitlement chip on his shoulder, completely unstable in the head, and there's an element to instant gratification where I don't measure the consequences of my actions.
He was fearful of a SWAT team hit on his house, or he was fearful of being shot by law enforcement.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. He was fearful of a SWAT team going to his house, or fearful that he would get, what? Shot? Are you fucking kidding? So he was fearful of doing what he just did to an innocent man for no apparent reason other than his ideologies. That makes no sense. Again, we go back to accountability. We go back to not understanding the consequences of my actions. Why is there no accountability in somebody's head when they're going to go about to shoot somebody and murder somebody? That makes no sense. And that is part of our society today, where I'm entitled to do this, I'm entitled to do that. Yeah, but you're not thinking of long-term consequences. The long-term consequences, you're going to jail and you're going to get the death penalty. Is that what you really wanted?
So part of the negotiation and getting him to bring himself in was that we would treat it as delicate and as soft as possible to make him feel comfortable to where he would show up at my office, and that's exactly what happened.
Now, some of you might be thinking, well, why go soft on this guy? He's a murderer, he's an assassin. I agree. But you gotta understand the strategy here from the police department is to go soft because this guy is caving in. This guy is just scared shitless. So the last thing you want to do is have a fugitive. So the strategy is go soft, try to get this guy. Once I get this guy, he's gonna spill the beans, he's gonna tell you everything you need to know. And I think the strategy was good. But I think the results show and prove that they got the guy. So kudos to the police department for handling this in a very appropriate manner. Professional, very professional. Now, lastly, what I want to say to you is we have to remember that this guy is somebody's son. And I cannot imagine the pain that the parents are going through. Because as a parent myself, I cannot imagine that my son would do anything like that, and I am sure that they feel the same way, especially growing in a conservative household. Churchgoers and Christ believers, that is the last thing that you would imagine your son doing. So I feel their pain, and there's no excuse for what he did. But I do want to mention that the parents are just as heartbroken as everybody else.
Thank you for watching, and we know that Charlie Kirk will live on forever. Like and subscribe. Thank you.